Oh, it's not as awesome today. Woo! I'm not feeling as awesome, but hey, what's up, conscious beings of the universe? It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon almost on a lovely Saturday. I just didn't get to enjoy it. I feel old. Woke up, my neck was hurting, and everything's bad, and didn't even get to go to frisbee, which sucks because you like have your thing that you love doing, and I didn't get to do it the last couple weeks because we had Sarah, and hence also why Puppy Cage is. So you might get guest appearance. Detour might come in. You never know coming in the cage, but it's just haven't been able to go play, and then I was like looking forward to the day. I'm like, I'm gonna go play spring frisbee, and then I woke up and no, apparently not. I'm like, which is a bummer. But hey, we all we push forward, we try. I'm gonna be very much more centered and less bouncing around in the chair because hey, well, no, that's probably a good thing, right? But I needed to check in. Three reasons. One, because it's like into February, and I haven't recorded anything in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and that's just not acceptable. That's me. That's me slacking because of work, and me slacking because of friends are in town. And although we had our own, church meetings. We went and we did some trivia, and we got together. We went hiking, enjoyed the nature, and fellowshiped with our visiting friends, Sarah and Trey, which was fantastic. But it's still not doesn't excuse not fulfilling your requirements. You gotta get your dailies in, or in this case weeklies, I guess. Anyway, but that's okay. We'll do better next time and in the future. And in that regard, I hope if you are those people that are still sticking to your New Year's resolutions or whatever resolution you might have going on right now, I hope you're doing a great job with that. I recently started trying to do a writing thing, and so far, better results than before. So on taking time and doing a task, doing some writing, doing some whatever it is. But hey, we get better. All right. Anyway, speaking of people getting better and some people that won't, condolences to the family of Mike Hughes, whatever he might have going on, because that's a bummer. A dude shouldn't blow up in a rocket because he's trying to prove something or not trying to prove something. Whatever. That's like so totally in between, or not in between. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't. He should have been running like a transit to Mars or something, or he should have been a colonist on the moon, not like stuck in the situation where he's trying to or launch this rocket into space to prove he can. Anyway, it's a bummer. I would have much rather seen the dude be a space cowboy. He seemed like he would have been the type to that would have been his thing. It's a bummer. And it goes to as Steve would say, segue nicely into. He got caught up into some inertia. He was in this. He was believing in some really wacky conspiracies, and flat Earth being one of them, and that kind of inertia. That's like the negative kind of inertia. There's positive inertia. There's negative inertia. It's all just like we want to think about religion. Like building up steam to something is part of that tool chest, and that's what that's what humans need and desire. And I was listening to a Portal podcast, Eric Weinstein. And he was talking about DISC and the distributed idea suppression complex. It's a term that he's made up. Apparently, he likes to make up terms, is what other people say, and I think it's really smart because it purposely directs your point. Maybe Lindsay's right. Maybe I should have came up with another name in church. When we'll rebrand. Who knows? Who cares? But anyway, back to what I was thinking. And the reason why he and his brother, I think, disc isn't, yes, it's a thing. He's just coming up with another term for like inertia, and it's the like institutional inertia, which when capitalized by individuals tends to, it would seem, will degrade others and downplay, like it slows progress, just because it, the institution wants to keep things at the status quo, wants to, and because, and again, for most institutions the status quo is helping it grow, and it's making its model, it's succeeding, right? And when a human attaches themselves into the status quo, into an institution in that regard, then they look to reinforce it, and vice versa. It's all just inertia, because then like they start doing that, they're in this groove, and then their groove repatterns the status quo's groove, and it repurposes them at the same time, and it all goes like in this same direction. It all goes in one little way. It's really fascinating to see that like you're just it's coming up with the same problem over and over again. You're just trying to rename it, and it's, I get it. You're trying to like put a definite idea and a definite name behind something. It's just one of those things, like it's always existed. It's just now you're talking about like you're just seeing it more specifically in institutions. So like I can understand why to call it something more, a little different. It's just one of those things. It's still just inertia. It's still just something has started down a path, and it's going to continue down that path. And that's why the church model, our religion, our philosophy of life is more of a gradual one, because when it would seem that when you fight the status quo, the status quo fights back, and usually it ends in violence and like someone dies, and it's just one of those things. That's why it's take it slow. Like you gotta change things slowly. Do a very gradual shift, right, left, wherever you're gonna go. It's go slowly, right the ship slowly, do everything within a very specific intention, and that's how you don't get stuck in situations where you are following inertia in a negative path. You can hopefully redirect their inertia. It's like there's an asteroid that's possibly could hit our planet in like 2050, whatever, something like that. And there's some like, talk about like trying to like move it around a little bit. And one plan is you use a gravitational tug, and that's just sitting something really big, but like just a little far away, and it just kind of just kind of slowly pulls it away. And like all you need is a little bit, and that's just, remember, that's our motto, that's our thought pattern. Is go very slowly, do what you got to do in order to make the change, but do it with an intention, do it slowly with some purpose. Remember, especially if you're a human consciousness, AIs, good luck with whatever you're doing. But our human brains seem to like this slow path. Anytime you try to rapidly change something, it wants to go back to its like a homeostatic response. So in the same regard, remember, we're all just people. Everything in institutions is just made of people. So when we're trying to change our institutions, as much as I would love a radical change and like a vast upsetting of the status quo, as it were, and see some things, people done away with, remember that our slow methodical change is ultimately better for us as a group and us as a whole. And remember that everyone's involved. You gotta, by making it better for everyone, remember that inertia. Remember that, hey, we can only make so many changes so fast. Maybe we will bring more people with us, and they will be more loving, and we can hopefully pilot this spaceship Earth a little bit more, or less recklessly, a little bit more, a little wiser, a little more wisely. That's all I got this week for you lovely, lovely beings out there. I hope that you are being good to one another. I hope that you went on an adventure this week and did something cool. And I hope you go, if you didn't, I hope you go on an adventure this next week and do something cool. I hope your goals are being met. I hope you're striving really hard. And if you haven't met a goal, remember to just to try a little harder. And hey, you might need to revisit that goal and step it back, make some changes. We all got to do different things sometimes. Then that's just how life is. I love you, and remember to keep your stick on the ice. Peace out, everybody.